nightmares in my head. I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn, no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuff.
Okay, hello. I tried to, suggestive sound. I try to go live on platforms other than YouTube, but every time I would try to do that, it would just lag out on me. So this is the third time we had to start the stream. Well, I'll figure that out on another day, but how are people doing? What's today? Friday? I saw some news stories like in the morning, which seemed interesting, but I didn't end up reading them because I was like, I'll just read them later on live and get my reactions out there on live. But it's my 12 a.m. mint. I sound so... I don't sound right. Okay. What about now? Okay. There was a story that I would want to talk about, because that's what we do now. We just open up the CBC and we look at news stories. But wait, hold on. I need to change this because it's not being nice. I'm trying to put myself in the middle. So we're going to crop this. Okay. Okay, somewhat okay. Right? And let's just like move all that here. Move. Okay, how does that look? Too much? Okay, what about now? Oh, now it's too much. Okay, now it should be okay. Oui, yes. I think that's okay. All right. Where was the story that I want to talk about? I got to go to the Toronto section. Okay. Oh, I'm already in the Toronto section, but I just want local though. Yeah, Toronto. Okay. All right, this is what I wanted to talk about. Did you guys read about this? Or have you seen an ex-cop going around and promoting his book, but also talking about some of the not so nice things that he's experienced as a veteran police officer in the Toronto Police Service? Did you guys see that? Toronto Police Board, zoom this in. Toronto Police Board asks for inspection into allegations of police anti-Semitism. Requests comes weeks after ex-cop described culture of anti-Semitism, racism in new book. The Toronto Police Service Board is requesting inspection from the province's Inspectorate of Policing after hearing community concerns. Shelley Carroll, the board's chair, said in a news release on Friday. Hello, Mike Keenan. Now, the Inspectorate of Policing is a agency of the provincial government, led by Ryan Tesher, I believe, who is a great guy by the looks of it. How do I go to About Us? Oh, Ryan Teschner. Sorry, I said Tesher. So he is the first Inspector General of Policing because it's a new role that was created because it's a new arm of the government. So let's go back to this. All right. If anybody wants to give me a massage, message me. I have a lot of tension on my shoulder, left shoulder to be specific. The Toronto Police Service Board has asked the province's policing oversight body to look into recent allegations of anti-Semitism and other cultural issues. The board asked Ontario's Inspectorate of Policing to conduct their inspections promptly, publicly report findings, and to recommend corrective actions. The request comes weeks after Hank Idsinga or Isinga. We'll just refer to him as Hank, a retired Toronto Police Service homicide inspector, voiced allegations to CBC and other news outlets around the release of his new book. Isinga, whose grandfather was a Holocaust victim, told CBC News there's a culture of anti-Semitism, racism, and corruption among the service's highest-ranking officials. Interesting. There's a real problem with the culture from top to bottom. Shelley Carroll. Okay. Residents should never have to question whether they'll be treated fairly because of who they are or what community they belong to. It's too late for that, Cheryl. Shelley. I feel like that's already the case for many people who try to call the Toronto police. They heard feedback from the community. Was there a meeting that I didn't know about? Thursday, May 14th. What was that? Okay. So this is the agenda, and apparently anything that's on the agenda can be discussed when there's a short period for people to share their thoughts at the end of the meeting. What am I looking for? I can't scroll through all of this. I don't, can we ask like ChatGPT this? Like, not super helpful, although this is interesting to me. Strategic plan. It's the presentation. Where is the presentation? Oops. Okay. 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 The strategic plan for policing in Toronto establishes the board's strategic direction for the next 4 years. It includes 5 strategic priorities: trusted and transparent governance, supporting an agile and engaged workforce, increasing safety in both fact and perception, evolving policing in a dynamic city and changing world, reciprocal partnerships moving policing and communities together. Wow. That's not happening, is it? Yeah. You know what it is? It's not so much that the police service inherently seeks to do no good and to treat people in a bad way. Because you look at their objectives and you look at, all their policies, you won't find anything that's out of, what you would expect and something that would be a cause of concern. Where it does become an issue, in my opinion, in my experience, based on what I've read, but based on what I've experienced, is if you happen to come across, if the conduct of a police officer ever causes you concern, there is very little that you can do as a normal person to even have your voice heard. Not even like anything, nothing punitive or against that police officer, just even to have your voice heard. Good luck with that. And then trying to remedy the situation, even greater luck with that, because there is this very strong it's like a team. Like the police service is a team, and if you have a complaint about a member of that team who is not behaving and conducting themselves to the service's policies and their directives and objectives, good luck. You're not going to get much support from their colleagues, especially if you're going to try to make a complaint to somebody who knows the officer who you're complaining against, who is probably either has worked with or will work with them in the future, who sees them in the lunchroom, who maybe has mutual friends with them. There's such a conflict of interest whenever you are going to a police officer to file a formal or informal complaint regarding another police officer. So when I said this reciprocal partnerships moving policing and communities together, that's quite unlikely to ever happen if there is no way to hold police officers accountable, because there's some great police officers, like really great police officers who go above and beyond to try to help people, to try to help you. But then you will meet another police officer who, wears the same uniform, who is being paid the same, who maybe even has the same job title. But it'll forever change the way that you view the police when you need to call to them for help. And that's where the perception issue comes into, because How are you gonna change people's perception when... Anyways, I'm ranting. Let us go back here. People need confidence that policing in Toronto is professional, impartial, and free from bias. Okay. The Toronto Police Service takes any allegation of anti-Semitism and racism extremely seriously. Adding, the service will support the oversight body during their inspection. Demque said he's also the law enforcement... He's asked LECA, the law enforcement complaints agency, to review the allegations and determine if more inspection is necessary. The mayor is on board. Okay. Okay, so let me just let's read this. This is a very rich paragraph, and we're gonna read every word very carefully because it's part of a statement, so it's very well written. This is what the president of the Toronto Police Association, the union representing all TPS members, has said. While we respect Hank's personal experiences, we do not believe, nor do our members believe, that there is a systemic issue of anti-Semitism at the Toronto Police Service. Hey, Mr. Campbell, president of the TPA, how do you know that? How do you know that? Because the mayor and the chief of police are waiting until there's an investigation. The depth of the investigation, the scope of the investigation, I'm not sure, but they're waiting for the results to come in and to hear back from the law enforcement complaints agency and also the Inspector General of Policing in Ontario. How can you, and this goes back to me saying that if you're not able to acknowledge that a police officer, more than one police officer, but at least a police officer conducted themselves in a way to bring disrepute to the Toronto Police Service, if that's not even part of your mindset, like if you will forever defend, without even knowing what happened, the actions of police officers who you don't even know, just because they're part of the Toronto Police Service and they're your, friends to a degree, how's that gonna move policing and communities together? And how's that gonna, change the perception that the public has towards the police into a more positive one? What a rich statement. We respect Hank's personal experiences. Well, it doesn't look like you do, because his personal experiences suggest that there's a systemic issue of anti-Semitism. And if you respected his personal experiences, you would at least stand alongside the mayor and the chief and call for an investigation by the various oversight bodies that exist, instead of coming out without any investigation, without any knowledge of who, what, where, when, why, when it comes to the allegations, and issue a blanket statement saying that there is no issue of systemic anti-Semitism in the police service. Now, labeling it as a systemic issue, as opposed to just saying that there hasn't ever been any incidents of anti-Semitism in the police service, I guess those are two different things. And they chose the wording to be very careful, systemic issue. So they're not denying that there haven't been individual, isolated incidents where police officers have been anti-Semitic. They're just against this idea, which is not just an idea, it's based on one of the most senior police officers in the city, his personal experiences, but they don't want to acknowledge it. Why? Because I believe it has to do with the blue code, where people just, for no reason, blindly defend relentlessly the actions of all police officers. So I'm going to say this. They don't believe, and nor do their members believe. How do you know that your members don't believe? Have you spoken to every police officer in Toronto? Have you? Weirdo. In an interview, Insignia described Itzinga described a series of anti-Semitic encounters involving a senior officer who he has not named. One more thing, by the way, and I'm going to be a bit critical of what the chief has said to the police, to CBC. One sec. Okay, found it. So I was watching this the other day, and there's a statement from the Toronto Police Service.
I should mention that we do have a statement from Toronto Police Service, and it reads, Mr. Itzinga is free to share his perspectives during his media tour for his soon-to-be-published book. The Toronto Police Service will not comment on the allegations made. We cannot substantiate these claims, particularly where no complaint was made at the time. We have clear mechanisms in place for members to report concerns. Allegations of misconduct, especially those involving discrimination or bias, are taken seriously and reviewed through established processes, including external oversight where appropriate. Our focus remains on the work our members are doing every day to serve a diverse city, work that includes significant ongoing efforts to support public safety and community confidence. Particularly coming out of the Bruce McArthur case, a lot of people
This was made on April 17th, and now we're about a month after the fact. And they're officially asking people they're asking for the oversight bodies, the police watchdogs, to conduct an investigation. That was not the case a month ago, because there was I guess the pressure was still mounting, and they pretty much just said that he's more than welcome to engage in freedom of speech, and we're not going to comment on the allegations made because we have no way to substantiate them. He never made a complaint, and because you never make a complaint, obviously the claim doesn't exist, right? If you don't make a complaint, then the problem never happened. The incident never happened. Okay. Congrats. Like what Itzinga said was, making complaints as a member of the police service against other police officers, there's a lot of there's the dynamic makes that hard to do, just because how people are just so connected in the police service, and there's other issues that you face when you try to raise your voice against another police officer. So this idea that no complaint was made and that they have clear mechanisms to report their concerns, it contradicts what Itzinga was saying. That it's not as easy as, oh, I'm a senior police officer, I want to report an incident that's going to, if I'm able to prove it, and if there's corrective action taken, ruin the career of other high-ranking police officials. The pressure that's on you, I can imagine, is probably a lot to just be quiet. But okay, I feel like there's a lot of hold on. All right. Do you have any other? So that was interesting. I just, it's the police service. They take a little bit of time, but eventually they go and ask Mr. Teschner at the OIP, the Ontario Inspectorate of Policing, to conduct an investigation and to provide oversight. They asked the police watchdog, LECA, to do something about it. Interesting. I don't know what the mayor has said in the past, but she's on board now. I don't know if that changed, if her position on this issue has changed, or what it is. But they all work in unison. I don't know if you've realized, because you have the chair of the Toronto Police Service Board, you have Shelley Carroll, the chair of the Toronto Police Service Board. You have the chief of the Toronto Police. You have the mayor, who are at the same time coming out with the same messaging. And I find it hard to believe that, to a degree, the timing and the nature of their messaging was not only just not planned, but also just not discussed amongst each other ahead of time. It's all a team. And this, okay, it's great that they're all saying that, hey, let's do this, let's do this. But the fact that they're coming out with statements, today or Friday or whatever it was, and suddenly they're all discussing this issue and they're all on the same page. To some people, it can be perceived as this whole system with these councillors and mayors and the police service, they're all sort of working together, and they all have the same position. Just saying I'm not saying that's the case, but apparently they care about perception, and that's perception for some. What else is happening? Um, okay, so we did watch this video. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but
At first, she thought it was a shooting. Then Leah Ledahowski realized the sound was coming from her own home. 3 people trying to get in.
Nothing seemed to deter them.
Thanks to window film Ledahowski installed after a robbery 4 months earlier, the suspects weren't able to get inside. But she says it appears the same group targeted another house 15 minutes later. CBC News has blurred the exterior of her home because she's concerned about potential future home invasions.
The sense of security that one should have when they're asleep in their own home has now been affected for us, probably permanently.
yeah, home invasions are a huge cause of concern in Toronto. Let's look at this chart. Let's try to interpret it. The majority of Toronto home invasions have targeted houses since 2003. Okay, so we have a graph here from 2014 to 2025. It's tracking the number of home invasions. This, are you sure? Is this like in thousands or like in the tens? I don't believe that there were less than 100 home invasions in 2024. This has to be scaled. But regardless, let's just look at the composition of the different home invasions. It's mostly or predominantly used to be apartment, condos, and rooming house. And now it's mostly become like residential homes. You know, I don't know what to say. I watched the great work, Nicole, by the way. But I've watched the video. Don't want to rewatch it, but it's a good watch. If you want to watch the full video, highly recommend.
Like jewelry.
She talks to one of the police officers who's in charge of tackling the issue, and yeah, it's just hard to avoid. Like you can never like foresee it. You can live in the most uninteresting neighborhood, but it's just you never know whether someone is going to break into a house, either your house or like a house in the street. But yeah, I'm not sure what to do about that. Because what do? You call the police when there is a home invasion. The home invasion, it's a fairly quick thing in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but home invasions, they want to spend as little time in the house as possible. They're picking up as much valuable items as they can. And they're out of there. They may, harm the people in the house for sure, but they're not trying to stay there as long as possible because they're aware that the longer they are there, the more time the police have to respond and the higher chances of them being caught. So I don't know how many home invasions the police have actually responded to when they're happening live. I think they're mostly putting the yellow tape and pursuing the people afterwards. But Okay. What else will we do? Yeah, here we go. This is what I want to talk about. Somebody knows something. William Toman's family back in Tremblant for weekend search. Canine unit will help search for Whitby man missing in Quebec since 2025. Just a year, a little bit more than a year. More than 15 months ago. I'm going to bring this mic a bit closer if I can. Okay. Let's just try this maybe. Okay, maybe that'll help. More than 15 months since his disappearance from a resort town north of Montreal. Liam Toman's family will be back in Mont-Tremblant this weekend. His father says, "We feel that there is a bit of a code of silence there in the Tremblant community. It's a great community, but we think there is a couple of people that know what's going on. We say somebody knows something." The Whitby man was 22 when he went missing on February 2nd, 2025. He was in Mont-Tremblant with friends and disappeared after a day of skiing and partying in Tremblant village.
In September, the SQ shared some surveillance footage which provided a clearer picture of what happened that night. Edited together with clips Kathleen Toman uncovered, here's what they reveal. Liam appears between the two buildings. Behind him, Le Petit Caribou, the bar he just left. His phone is pressed to his ear.
There's two dead there.
This is the same moment from a different angle.
Why is there nobody
Walking
around?
past bar Le Central, Liam pockets his phone, and this is likely after calling his friend Kyle, who was already asleep.
It's 3 a.m. though, so that makes sense.
Picked up on yet another camera as he passes Le Central, pockets his phone, and heads to his hotel. Just as this shot ends, he's caught on another surveillance camera. And then again as he walks past Restaurant Au Wok. One last video captured from a restaurant terrace. Liam's hotel is just beyond the top of the screen, out of frame. Liam is here, behind the timestamp, speaking with people also off camera. He points and then walks decisively in that direction, which could lead to the...
So the people that he's speaking to here, I recall watching the documentary. It was a great documentary by the CBC to raise awareness for this case, this missing persons case. The people that he spoke with, they were contacted. They appeared in the documentary, and they pretty much just said that they gave him, they spoke with him, and then they had nothing to do with it. They were just part of the story because he interacted with them that night.
Back of his hotel. This is the last clear sighting of Liam.
Yeah, it's very sad. I would love to sort of gather all the facts and just try to just think out the possibilities, because missing persons cases always hit home a little bit for me. Okay. Toman was last seen on surveillance footage around 3:20 a.m. His wallet was found in March 2025, so the next month, in a nearby parking lot. Okay. While there has been no trace of Toman... Sorry. Okay. I think this should be good. While there has been no trace of Toman on social media, and no activity in his bank account since, his family remains hopeful. Last November, an anonymous donor offered up to $50,000 in the hopes that it would encourage somebody to come forward. Sun Youth is administering the reward, which expires on May 20th, but will be renewed every 6 months until Liam is found. His family told the CBC. What is Sun Youth? Some organization? This weekend, aw, look at the dog. Look at the fat dog. This weekend, the family will have the help of the volunteer group Sarkan K9. They train working line dogs in cadaver detection and search and rescue. The organization says there are 90 volunteers signed up to help with the search this weekend. That's great. This dog's name is Shiva. It's one of the 3 canine dogs. Okay. You got this, Shiva. Shiva is the more seasoned of the 3 dogs that will take part in the weekend search. One of the trainers says the 10-year-old Belgian Malinois is their best cadaver detection dog. Well, so they're looking for a dead body. Okay. The police set up a command post. Interesting. So, let me just pause for a second. Question for you guys. And no wrong answers, okay? But tell me this. How do you prove that someone is dead when you don't have a body? We're going to wait. No wrong answers. Give me your wildest ideas. But how do you, let me repeat the question. How do you prove that somebody is dead when you have not recovered their body? Okay, the answer is I don't exactly know, but I know like pieces of stuff that the police look into. You don't necessarily need proof that someone is dead. You need proof that they're no longer alive. You see what I'm saying? In this day and age, it is very difficult, especially as time goes on, for you to not leave a footprint, a digital footprint. How are you, let's just say that you are on your own, that you're alive, but you're on your own. Did you buy anything? What did you use to buy something? Do you have a card with your name on it that's being used? Have you sought healthcare in the past year or so? Like there is ways that you can check to see if there is a hint that they're alive. And showing that there is no proof of life doesn't automatically mean that the person is dead. They could still be missing, but depending on the other facts of the case, especially when you don't have a body, but you have enough evidence to supposedly. Actually, let me take that back. It becomes more of a circumstantial case where so the proof of life, that's one thing, but then you have other things that support the theory, whatever your theory is about why the person went missing, that then can make somebody believe, that they are no longer alive. Right? So like in this case, for example, like he was a loving son, he had a great family, and he had hopes to, perhaps he was in school studying, or he was going to go to school, or he was starting work. It was supposed to be just a friend's vacation to Quebec, and he was supposed to go back, and like all these things come into play where you look at it and you're like, I cannot legitimately, reasonably believe that this person who is missing went missing on their own. The only other thing that I can say is, and I'm not saying for this case, I'm just saying in general, like you never know what's going on in somebody's head. Even if you gave birth to them, you don't know what's going on in somebody's head. And if somebody wants to take their own life, you will never know until it happens sometimes. So that's like just a caveat to what I was saying, although I'm not saying it applies to this case. I'm not saying that at all. Okay, last November, and we already read this. We looked at the dog. Okay. So when he disappeared, Toman was wearing a black Volcom coat with brown spots, black snow pants, a green t-shirt, and a plaid shirt, a white hat with dark stripes, and brown work boots with a black toe cap. That's a helpful description. The search party will meet at 9 a.m. Saturday morning and continue around 5 p.m. on both days this weekend. This is interesting. Wish I could like support in some way. So this came on January of this year. So this is Liam. Quebec Provincial Police are launching a renewed push for clues. Okay. Okay. Great. I forgot to do this. But yeah, that's Liam. We think that it's important to be there on the weekend. He was there. Yeah, this is I don't like what happened. Sorry, is this a different clip? No, it's just someone's thoughts. Okay. Hello. Okay, we'll just give that time, but yeah.
On this edition of The Fifth Estate, we're in Mont-Tremblant, Quebec, where we join the search for Liam Toman.
I'd say like an hour went by where I didn't really see him.
After a day on the slopes and a night out, the 22-year-old from Whitby, Ontario, vanished.
I said, we need to talk to the police. We need to talk to the resort. Like, we don't know where he is, right?
Almost a year later, his disappearance remains a total mystery.
So that tower has a camera, but it's not very clear. You can't see this far.
We retrace Liam's steps with his mother and track down some of the last people to see him that February night. No bad feeling.
Liam is super relaxed. He's just a chill guy.
His loved ones were surprised by the resort's response.
They want Tremblant to be seen as a fun place to go ski, and that's what they care about.
As the trail goes cold, speculation takes hold.
Something happened here that's criminal.
But the crucial question remains, what happened to Liam Toman? I'm Marie-Maud Denis, host of Radio-Canada's Enquête. This is The Fifth Estate.
My name is Kathleen Toman. I'm coming from Boston Lake, Ontario, and I'm driving to Mont-Tremblant. My son, Liam Toman, has been missing since February 2nd. I'm back in Mont-Tremblant to spread awareness on Liam being missing and put the pieces together to find Liam and bring Liam home.
There was nothing to suggest that anything but fun lay ahead on Friday, January 31st last year. 3 friends, a road trip, and a weekend skiing. Most excited of all, Liam.
We were all excited to get there, just getting hyped for the hill.
The hill was Quebec's Mont-Tremblant. And after 5.5 hours on the road, these Whitby boys were ready to be wowed.
Whitby,
and then it just opens up, and then there's the hill with all the cabins on the side of it, and then the mountain just goes up, and it's a pretty big eye shock for us because we don't see something like that very often.
After checking into their room at the Tour des Voyageurs, their vacation officially started.
That wasn't me.
Oh, that was me.
So stoked for the first run, Liam even films his brand new skis.
Oh my God, that's fun.
When we were up at the top, he was like, "Oh, this is really nice." He's like, "Take a picture of that. Take a picture of me with the signs."
We went out to dinner at the pizzeria, and then we went to Lucille's, the bar, and just had a few drinks at the bar there. And then we left the bar around 11:30 p.m. And then I went to bed that night, and then Kyle and Liam went to the club that night.
Their destination, a local favorite, Le Petit Caribou.
We got in there, we hung out for a bit, we had a couple more drinks, and then kind of split up inside the bar. I'd say like an hour went by where I didn't really see him, and then the place started clearing up. I texted him like, "Oh, where are you?" I didn't get a response. I was like, "Okay, I'm going back. I'm going back to the room now." I woke up around like 8 something right away. I texted Liam like because I noticed he wasn't in the room, so I was like, "Where are you?"
Most likely scenario is he's probably met someone and he's gone to someone's room or house. And I can't reach him at the moment because I know his phone's dead or he's asleep.
We went out to ski, and I called him like once every hour. And then after a couple hours, I was calling him twice an hour. And I started calling 3 times an hour, and like 20 calls later, like, okay, maybe something is up for sure.
I think we came back to the room around 4 p.m., wasn't in the room again. Then we went to dinner. So like that was kind of the time period where we started to get pretty concerned.
So that's when we contacted his stepbrother and we got in touch with his parents.
And then I get a call at, I think it was about 10 to 6.
Liam's father, Chris Toman, lives in...
Yeah, I've watched this like in full length. I recommend you guys try to watch it as well. It's definitely a mystery what happened to our friend Liam, but I hope they're able to, the family's able to, like his mom said, bring him home. But in case they are looking for a cadaver, I hope they're able to find his remains. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Like it's good that you're able to, like shed shed light onto this and bring this into the the public sphere. But in terms of actual, I guess it really does help, because here you're looking for leads, right? You're just looking for anyone who knows something. So the farther the story travels and the more people are aware of, the date, time, place, and the person that is the subject of this investigation, like they could come forward and, try to help out if they do know something, even if it seems benign to them, but it can sort of maybe fill in that little remaining piece of the puzzle for the police. So I hope we're gonna be tracking this. I'm gonna put a tracker on this story, and we're gonna revisit it. And if we happen to be in Quebec, we will go there and we'll talk to some people and try to figure some stuff out. Okay. So that was what I wanted to talk about. Anything else? Who is the leader of the federal NDP? Oh, sorry, no. The provincial NDP. Starts with the M. Styles. Yeah, Merit Styles. Is there anything here on Merit Styles? Is that not her name, or did I write it wrong? Oh, I did. Autocorrect. Yeah. Oh my God. So there was this whole issue, and I think journalists were particularly concerned because they're in the business of requesting documents from government agencies to be able to do their work and to be able to accurately report government records, and to report if there's anything of concern in government records, and just overall keep an eye out on how the government is conducting business. But this came in. The Premier's office files saved in Google Docs excluded from Ontario transparency requests. Wait, what?
Government ministers, staff, and senior bureaucrats are told to use official provincial programs to secure confidential government records. But senior staffers in the Premier's office have been bucking that requirement, relying instead on Google Docs to store privileged government information.
Why is the government using Google Docs to create, edit, discuss, share cabinet confidential records?
Global News has already revealed
how she has a smile on her face
Chief of
because she
Staff
just
Patrick
loves it.
Sackville has used Gmail to communicate official government business. But when Global News used Freedom of Information laws to request all government materials from Gmail addresses, The province blocked the request, acknowledging that the materials in those personal accounts include policy proposals, plans to roll out official legislation, and even a draft speech the premier was preparing to deliver to his cabinet. All sensitive, confidential materials.
I love how whenever like the premier walks into the room, the reaction of all of the MPPs is a copy and paste of the other. Like they all have a smile on their face. They're standing and clapping in the same form. Like, just relax. Relax.
Stored on unsecured private accounts.
It's confidential information. If they're just using any system to do this work with these documents, they're not protecting the public interest.
The government said that any information and content shared on collaborative platforms such as Google Docs are reflected in official government documents. Critics say there's no way of verifying that.
What the public should also be concerned about is a culture of secrecy. The fact that the government has things that they clearly want to hide from the people of Ontario, that they want to create a situation where there's no transparency and zero accountability when things go south.
The government has yet to say whether it has stopped using Gmail or Google Docs for official work.
Critics of the Ford government say there was a particularly egregious use of Google-related products to conduct government business, and that was during the Greenbelt scandal when the Auditor General had uncovered the fact that staffers were using private email addresses to talk about how that Greenbelt land was going to be handled. Critics have also pointed to Premier Doug Ford, who uses a private cell phone for government business, not a government-related cell phone. They say he's the one setting the precedent at the top. Reporting live at Queen's Park, I'm Colin DeMello. Now back to you.
I really like the way the CBC writes his articles. No offense. Interesting. So the bill, which is now law, to restrict freedom of information request, is nullifying their request to Ministry of Health. Interesting. More than 70% of Ontario hospitals are forecasting deficits. And Health Minister Sylvia Jones has told them to come up with 3-year plans to balance their budgets. Any low-risk cost savings with no or minimum frontline reductions should be made immediately. And according to Jones, or the ministry, I can't even read this. Okay, got it. Yeah, so in the bill, any records of the premier, cabinet ministers, and their staff are no longer subject to freedom of information requests / access to information requests anymore. Retroactive to 1988. What? Oh, it's retroactive to 1988. So in the past, I don't know, 12, 26, 38. In the past 38 years, any requests for information about the premier, his cabinet, and their staff. But that's how you make laws, though. Isn't it? Like the communication between these people is how laws are made. Is an important. It's in the public interest. Ford said that the part of the reasoning for the law is to prevent access to his cell phone records. Right, but I don't know the full story on this, but I believe that there was a court order or like something like his phone records were, I believe, could be wrong, but involved in some other form of either administrative filing or legal filing, and then suddenly this law is passed. Yeah, I gotta read up on this. I gotta read the bill, and I've gotta like do a video on this because there is no reason after I don't know how many years has a Ford government been in power to now suddenly avoid and make it illegal for people to request records in their cabinet offices. So even the privacy commissioner was like, what are you doing? Emails to data from the PO, cabinet ministers, and PAs will no longer be subject to FOIA laws. Yeah, this is what I was talking about, that there is ongoing battles around these two things. Okay. But anyways, it does get a bit tiring to like constantly just stand by and have people in power do anything that they can to stay in power. Who is this? Oh, great. MPBSDP. All right, I think I've had it with the news today. You guys want to talk about life? Who wants to talk about life? Put your hand up if you want to talk about life. Let's get a song going, maybe. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. One sec. Let's spend the last few minutes just looking at a few songs and just talking. But what are people doing for the long weekend? What are you guys doing? Because it is Victoria Day on Monday, and the weather is finally warm. So I hope you guys take advantage, okay, of the warm weather. You guys go and enjoy with your friends and family. Go to a place you haven't been before, or go revisit your favorite place. And I'm sure there's a lot of like festivals, like like food markets, like cultural events, I don't know, farmers markets, whatever it might be, that it's, you know, the season for. So enjoy those. I gotta go and get some clothes for the summer, because I don't think I have many clothes to wear in the summertime. So that's gonna be something that I do. Maybe not over the weekend, because after like 1 o'clock or noon, the malls are just so busy on weekends. Next week is gonna be exciting. We have some exciting things planned. So tune in for that. But should we come up with a quote of the day? Hold on, I'm looking for a song, right? So one artist that I'm really impressed by, his name is Nefex. And let's see what we got.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down.
You know what we gotta do? I've gotta like, cause YouTube is a bit, it's better than Twitch, cause discoverability on Twitch is just very subpar, but on YouTube it's like a hit or miss. Like at times you'll get viewers, at times you won't. I feel like when you go live on your phone, right? When you're live on your phone, that's when you get a lot more viewers, because I think people are just scrolling through the lives. But when it comes to a desktop, I've found that it's less viewers. So I may just pull up like and do something on the phone, because it's just I'm just trying to reach more people, right? So multi-streaming helps, you know, going live on YouTube, Kick, Twitch simultaneously helps. So I'm gonna try to figure it out, because what's the point of streaming if you're not maximizing your reach anyways, right? If you're going live for like an hour, might as well go live for an hour, and have your chance and maximize the chances of people discovering the stream. So you might want to do that. But yeah, hope you guys have a great night. This was an early stream compared to what we're used to, but I gotta go and rewatch the stream just to see if there's a bit of a disconnect, because in the past streams there's a lag between the video movement and then the voice. So it's like there's a bit of a disconnect there, but yeah. What else do we got? I'm going to put you guys on some songs that are copyright free. I don't know this one.
They call me a god.
Oh, I like this song, but I think I already played it in the beginning.
cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, not fucking likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running shit right, see. And I ain't playing games, I create my own lane, making pleasure out of pain, turning losses into gains, I'm the boss, I'm making change, I've been rocking this exchange, popping off and risking things, gonna make a fucking name, I just wanna be famous. But I don't want that cheap fame, no I'm not that vain, I just wanna be greatness. 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 Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me. Okay, I'm going off every chance I get. I don't really take a loss, well, I'll admit. That's why I'll make it to the top, yeah, I commit. And no, I'm never getting lost, I get after it. Investing in my own stock, cause it's faster than any crypto hits go, let me spend. Everything that you see is something I invent. And it's only a percent. I'm gonna take shots. If I miss all, forget it. I'll take a fat loss just to learn all that's in it. I'm taking snapshots, learning how to fall and get it. I'm getting back up, always stand tall, don't sweat it. I never back up, I don't miss a thing or regret it. I'm always learning, you could call me academic. I'm always working, never been apathetic. Bad energy is like a poison, needs some antiseptic.
If you wanna, you can. And if you go and hate this, can we redo that? All right, let's remember the lyrics, okay? Well, let's go back a bit. Let's go back. Like me. Actually, no, that was a clean version. You don't have to love me. Psyche. If you wanna hate, you know. And if you go and hate this, ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you know fucking try me. If you wanna hate this, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me. Boom. Boom. To learn all that's in it, I'm taking snapshots, learning how to fall and get it. I'm getting back up, always stand tall, don't sweat it. I never back up, I don't miss a thing or regret it. I'm always learning, you could call me academic. I'm always working, never been apathetic. Bad energy is like a poison, needs some antiseptic. Alright guys, have a great night. I've prolonged the ending of the stream. Goodbye. See you guys in the next one. Take care of yourself, you know what I mean? Enjoy time this weekend, but be safe.